students. Today we will be discussing vitamin B7, which is biotin. So now biotin is a heterocyclic monocarboxylic acid. It is a sulfur containing water soluble vitamin B. It consists of two fused rings. One is imidazole and the other one is thiophene. Okay, thiophene derivative. Then there is a carboxylic group attached. Here you can also see the two rings and the sulfur also. Dietary sources. In the water soluble form in most plant material except cereals and nuts. Mainly in a water insoluble form in animal tissues. Foods that are rich in biotin include the animal sources, liver, kidney, milk and milk products, and egg yolk. Vegetable sources include vegetables, legumes and grains. Molasses contain good amount of biotin, and there is exceptionally large amounts present in royal jelly. So you have this water soluble form, which is usually in plant material, and in a water insoluble form in animal tissues. The recommended dietary allowance. Human adults, it is 25 to 50 microgram daily. In infants, it is 10 to 15 microgram daily, and in children, it is 20 to 40 microgram daily. Absorption of free biotin occurs in the small and large intestine. Biotin may be stored to a limited extent in the liver and kidneys. Usually, water soluble vitamins are not really there for storage, but to some extent, yes, biotin can be stored. So, mechanism of action and functions. First of all, you always remember biotin is used in carboxylation reactions. Carboxylation reactions means carbon dioxide is introduced to something. Okay, so carboxylation reactions. Biotin is a coenzyme in carboxylation reactions in which it serves as a carrier of activated carbon dioxide. Okay, so it acts as a carrier of activated carbon dioxide which is ready to be transferred. Okay, now biotin is covalently bound to the eta amino group of lysine residues in biotin dependent enzymes. So what it is used in carboxylation reactions, right? So what will be the biotin dependent enzymes? The carboxylases, right? So these carboxylases are made up of, these are protein in nature, right? So they are made up of amino acids. So they have a group of lysine residues, okay? And these lysine residues covalently are bound to biotin, okay? So biotin acts as a coenzyme, but it is attached to the enzyme, right? So biotin, when the reaction is to take place, the carboxylase has to give the carbon dioxide to the other product. So biotin is first converted into carboxybiotin by a reaction with bicarb and ATP. Okay. Then carbon dioxide biotin complex is made, right? Biotin is attached to carbon dioxide, becomes carboxybiotin complex, and this carbon dioxide biotin complex is the source of active carbon dioxide which is transferred to the substrate, okay, thus carboxylating it. I'll give you some examples also. See, there is an acetyl CoA, okay, it has to be converted into malonyl CoA, okay. Now this malonyl CoA, how will this be made? Acetyl CoA is to be carboxylated, okay, by the enzyme acetyl CoA carboxylase. Now this enzyme has biotin attached to it, okay. Biotin attached to it because it acts as a coenzyme to this carboxylase enzyme. Now what happens, this biotin is the carbon dioxide carrier. Okay, that's why this is a carboxylase. It has a carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide is transferred from acetyl CoA carboxylase to acetyl CoA, thus making it malonyl CoA. So when acetyl CoA is carboxylated, it becomes malonyl CoA. So in reaction, manganese is used, and also ATP is converted into ADP. Okay, energy is used. So acetyl CoA is converted into malonyl CoA by carboxylation reaction, and this carboxylase enzyme has biotin attached to it, and this biotin is the carrier of the carbon dioxide. The same thing, conversion of pyruvic acid to oxaloacetate by pyruvate carboxylase enzyme. So pyruvic acid is to be carboxylated. This carbon dioxide is attached to a biotin which is already attached to a carboxylase, that is pyruvate carboxylase, and pyruvic acid is carboxylated to oxaloacetic acid, right? Now the third example, propenyl CoA is converted into methyl malonyl CoA. Okay, now this propenyl CoA is carboxylated by the carbon dioxide carried by biotin which is attached to propenyl CoA carboxylase enzyme. There are other things that are taking place, manganese, ATP and all, but we are interested in the biotin that is attached to the enzyme carboxylase, and this biotin is a carrier of carbon dioxide. So when the reaction is taking place, propenyl CoA is carboxylated to methyl malonyl CoA. So these are the main mechanism of actions or functions of biotin. Deficiency. The deficiency diseases caused are dermatitis, that is skin infection, glossitis, that is the tongue infection, then there is loss of appetite, then is nausea, alopecia is loss of hair, enteritis is loss intestinal infection. Okay, so these are the deficiency disorders of biotin. Biotin deficiency does not occur naturally because the vitamin is widely distributed in food and supplied by intestinal bacteria. So you are making this biotin and it is widely distributed in so many kinds of food that biotin deficiency is rare. This deficiency can occur in people who eat raw eggs. ठीक है, कच्चे अंडे जो खाते हैं, raw eggs. Now this raw eggs, the egg contains a glycoprotein which is avidin. So this avidin is tightly bound to biotin and it prevents its absorption from the intestine. And raw egg is it's like if you eat 20 eggs per day for such a long time, then only this raw egg's glycoprotein avidin will get attached to biotin and will not let it be absorbed by the intestine. Okay. Addition of raw egg white to the diet as a source of protein induces symptoms of biotin deficiency. So biotin deficiency can occur when you add raw egg white to the diet as a source of protein. Okay, bodybuilders, they eat so many raw eggs, so they are prone to have this biotin deficiency. So congenitally, there is a rare genetic deficiency of holocarboxylase synthase enzyme. Okay, what this enzyme does is it helps to utilize biotin in metabolic role. But congenitally, if you don't have this holocarboxylase synthase, that means you won't be able to utilize the biotin metabolic role. So the affected child which has this congenital deficiency cannot utilize biotin and develops biotin deficiency, which is manifested as dermatitis, graying of hair. When they are born, they have gray hair, loss of hair, incoordination of movements. Okay, so these are all things that can be seen in a congenital deficiency of holocarboxylase synthase. And so a 25-year-old woman presents to your genetics clinic for a workup of elevated cholesterol levels which are discovered during a routine physical examination. While you prepare to order several tests to check for genetic abnormalities that might explain her elevated cholesterol levels, she reveals that she has also been suffering from generalized muscle cramping, scaly skin, hair loss, chronic diarrhea over the past month. When you probe further and learn that she has been on a fat diet for the past year that requires consumption of 25 raw eggs a day, you begin to suspect that there are health problems are related to nutritional deficiency, and you suggest that she discontinues her fat diet. So she's been eating raw eggs from such a long time, and egg yolk, has so much cholesterol. Her cholesterol levels are going up. She's showing all signs of biotin deficiency, like dermatitis, like alopecia, diarrhea, and all. So this woman has biotin deficiency. And this is all about biotin, and we'll be studying the next vitamin in the next lecture. Hopefully you understood. Thank you very much.